Fuck off! Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world, apart from our other podcast, which we do, which more people listen to. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, who is a dickhead, and I'll tell him to fuck off this week. His name is Lawrence Thomas Heisey. Hello, Lawrence. And good day to you, sir.
Thank you. Good day to you too, sir. How are you this fine morning? No, afternoon.
It is just afternoon, so yeah. I'll let you.
I
off
almost
the hook.
caught myself there.
Yeah, caught you slipping. I'm okay. I'm warm.
Yeah, it's fucking hot, man.
Yeah, it's what summer's finally decided to show up, I guess. So
it's not like glaring sunshine. It's more just the dirty humidity that makes me want to just die.
Yeah, it's not great. Catherine's not here.
And we don't know what to do without our, guardian anymore.
No, unfortunately, Catherine couldn't join us because she has an actual job and is busy and does stuff. And it was just very busy this week, so I didn't have time to watch a whole series of television, which, makes sense because neither do I, to be honest.
No, yeah, it's fair. Well, I don't know why we do this to ourselves, but if people are missing their Catherine fix, I was on Missing Mystic Falls.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
Well, you don't want me to promote it?
He's plugging himself up top.
I'm plugging Catherine's podcast.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was on. Nathan was on it a while back. Catherine has a Vampire Diaries rewatch podcast, and I was on it. We talked about an episode where a character called Stefan is a murderer.
I listened to it.
Did you? What do you think?
I listened to it. Awful. Horrible.
I ruined it.
You are the worst guest that has ever appeared on that show, and I personally think they should never have you back. And also, you dragged my good name through the mud.
You dragged mine. You've tried to sabotage me on the episode.
I only did as what was asked of me. Okay, I was asked a question and I answered it. And then you're dragging my name through the good mud, saying I'm lying. This is outrageous.
I admitted there was a half truth told.
Outrageous.
Okay. Well, if you want any context for that, go and listen to that. It's a Missing Mystic Falls podcast. You can follow them at Miss Mystic Pod on Twitter. So should be very easy for you to find the episode and have a good time and let Catherine know what you think of it as well.
Are you sure that Twitter handle is correct?
I'm almost sure.
Okay.
Shall I check or shall I just?
Because that was just off the dome for you, and I don't know.
Yeah, but I've been writing her in the descriptions recently, so I feel like I've got a good grasp.
Okay, well let's see.
Miss Mystic Pod. Did I say that?
You did. Okay.
Then I'm right. I'm 100% right.
Well done. You did it, everyone. Anyway, Suck 3.
This time it's personal. Suck session. This is a suck session. We're talking successfully about Succession during this suck session.
See, no, you did this earlier, and you were so proud of yourself. Now you're trying to organically work it into the podcast. This is outrageous. Why is your pillow on backwards on your chair?
Oh, because I haven't had it on my chair for the longest time, and it was dusty. I was like, I need it there because it's coming with me when I move. So it needs to be in its right place, but I don't want it touching my head because it's dusty.
Well, then dust it.
Yeah, but then I've been busy.
What, to hit a pillow?
Yeah.
You just need to hit it a couple of times and it's good.
Stop bringing attention to my details, all right?
I'm too busy to do this. That's it. You're done.
I'll dust you in a minute if you carry on with this.
Fucking hell.
Leave me alone. Don't be a bully. I've had a stressful morning. I've had a power cut.
It's true. We were supposed to record an hour ago. But fucking hell, the power went down.
Nathan, Succession Season 3. You liked Season 1 and 2.
I liked Season 2.
Okay. You liked Season 1.
Yeah, it was all right. But Season 2 really got me hooked. Okay. And Season 3 is good. But I realized something when I was watching Succession, okay?
Okay.
And I realized it partly because I happened to... This is a kind of a long story, but a few months ago, I had an accident. I didn't piss myself. I had an accident with my hard drive, okay? And I lost everything on my hard drive, okay?
Okay.
Which meant that I have a backup archive of all the podcast episodes. And I lost all of those, okay? So I had to re-download and organize every single podcast episode, okay? And in the process of doing that, I listened to a little snippet of our podcast that was called We Solved Cinema, okay? You know that one that was just me and you talking, okay?
Yeah.
And in that, you said, you wish, people who write movies and stuff could just, be the writers of Succession and how every movie should be like Succession. And I'm like, I like this. I don't want every movie to be this, okay?
I think there might be some paraphrasing going on.
It was basically that, okay? But that's basically what you were saying, okay? And I don't want everything to be this. This is good, but it's fine to have variety, okay?
Okay.
I don't need everything to be this. But that is not to say it is good.
Okay, all right.
It's not, whatever. It's good.
Season 3 is my least favourite of the show.
Okay, interesting.
Season 3 had to deal with a lot of the fallout of Season 2. And also, the 4th season is the final season. So they also had to set the stage for the final season.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah, I know, I'm aware of this. But it also had COVID restrictions. There was a 2-year break in between Season 2 and Season 3.
It was a 2-year break?
Yeah.
That was a 2-year cliffhanger?
It was, yeah.
Insane.
I didn't have to suffer it because I hadn't caught on with the show at that point, so I was okay.
Wow, insane.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Season 3 is a lot of tidying up Season 2, setting the stage for Season 4, and you lose a lot of the ensemble goodness from Season 2 because obviously they had COVID restrictions. So there's a lot of like only 3 characters in a room at a time kind of situations.
Mind you, I say a 2-year break is a lot, but that's pretty much standard for a TV show these days. Yeah. And I fucking hate that, okay? House of the Dragon, the first season was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we're getting the second season 2 years later. And I'm like, what happened when we could just make a TV show in a year? Okay? Like
when they didn't have to have 8 million an episode budgets.
I know. Game of Thrones was high production quality as well. Like they could do that in a year. And now it's just I don't know.
I'm both for it and against it in a way because the Bear is 3 for 3, right? Started in 2020 and has come out basically a season every year.
Yeah, but isn't that bad?
Well, no, because it was good for 2 seasons, and then Season 3, I like what it's doing, but it wasn't my favorite season. So
I heard Season 3 sucks and everyone hates it now.
It's definitely like polarizing, but there was a part of me that was like, maybe you should have taken a bit more time on this one. So I don't know. I don't know where I land on it, but it's a fucked precedent for the industry for sure.
Yeah. They're saying The Boys will end with Season 5, and that's going to be like in 2 years' time. Like,
I don't get it. Just murders any momentum.
No, it's so long. It's so long, and like I get it. You know, we do. It's not like the fucking. We're not making shows like the CW anymore. You know, we are putting more time and spending more money on them and that kind of stuff. And in that respect, yeah, sure. But I know sometimes it's like 2 years for 6 episodes. You're like. Yay.
Sometimes there's the problem of it being like under one umbrella as well, like because like I don't know this too much. Let's like using Marvel as an example. They're like, we put all our energy into this kind of show and like a couple of movies and this show that we're producing at one time.
Yeah.
But then you look on the roster and you go, well, and this at this pace, it's going to be 6 years until we get to Season 2 of that one show that we started 6 years ago.
Well, that is an issue with Marvel because like as the universe grows, it's only logically going to be longer between fucking resolutions and sequels and everything.
They put characters on the back burner to introduce new ones. And
suddenly
you go, where the fuck are they? I ain't seen them in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, people I don't agree with this at all, but people always go, it's been so many years since this big fucking head appeared in the ocean. Why isn't anyone doing anything about it? I couldn't give a fuck myself, personally.
It's doing its thing. It's chilling.
Yeah, it's there. There's a big head in the ocean. Fine. I don't need someone to look into the camera and say, oh, by the way, there's a big head in the ocean.
And like, and what would be done about it is what you'd have Martin Freeman walk on screen and be like, the head is still in the ocean.
Apparently, it plays a part in the new Captain America.
I cannot see that happening.
It's in the trailer. So
is it?
Yeah, it's in they go to it in the trailer. Yeah,
I missed that entirely.
They have to like collect something from it. So yeah,
how it's like there's a bunch of political thriller narratives going on. They're like quick to the big head in the ocean.
I don't know what's going on. But
I don't know either.
Yeah.
All right. So Season 1 like was good. Didn't quite nail you like Season 2 did.
Season 2 was peak. Okay.
Yeah.
Season 3 was less peak, but I still enjoyed it. I still think it was really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, okay? Kendall's the main character of this show, if you ask me. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Yeah. Kendall's the main character of the show. Season 1, I was like, oh, Kendall's such a prick. I hate him. Okay. Season 2, I was like, oh, fuck, I kind of like Kendall, you know? I really think I like him. I don't like that I like him, but I like Kendall. And then season 2, and I was like, oh no, I hate Kendall again, you know?
Yeah, season 3, you mean?
Season 3, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And I realized what it is. Whenever Kendall is cocky and confident and he's like, haha, yeah, bro, let's do it, bro, and all this, I fucking cannot stand him. The absolute worst prick ever. Whenever he's depressed and mopey and is on the verge of killing himself and tries to kill himself, I love him. He's great. He's my favorite character, you know? So happy, confident, cocky Kendall, kill that man, okay? Kill him.
Welcome to the Kendall fandom, right?
I need Kendall Roy to be sad and pathetic at all times. Okay,
yes.
That's the only way I enjoy this character.
I'm so vindicated. I feel so happy. You have summed up my exact opinions on Kendall, because it is this, right? When he's miserable, and when you can see the damage his dad has inflicted onto him his entire life.
Yeah,
right? You go, oh, you suck a little bit, but your dad sucks way more, and you can see this is his fault. But then he comes out and he's like, my 40th birthday is gonna go nut, and everyone, you're like, I hate
awful.
you.
That birthday was the biggest cry for help I have ever seen. Okay,
it's called "We Went Inside Your Mental Breakdown" or something by Roman.
Awful, horrendous.
Catherine's not here, so we've got to kind of hold ourselves to the standard Catherine that Catherine would upkeep if she was here.
Okay.
That being, we stay focused and we managed to talk about a fair few things.
I saw a message in our Discord server earlier that said, like, the boys are always so well behaved whenever Catherine's there.
It's probably true, considering our last couple of episodes have still got legs where we've been by ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to do character for character? Just go through them.
Sure, why not?
So, explosive end to season 2. Kendall knifes his dad, essentially, and it's like, I'm going to expose him for the horrible, malignant presence that he is in this company.
Yeah, kind of doesn't go anywhere, but... Yeah,
I think it goes somewhere just aggressively downwards until he wants to kill himself.
It starts off strong. I'll give you this, because my big claim at the end of season 2, I don't think I said this on the podcast, but my big claim at the end of season 2 was, if it's just like wrapped up off screen and there's no consequences or damages or fallout of that, then this sucks and I hate it, okay?
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. They pick up fucking immediately, where like the second where season 2 leaves off, okay? And it's great, it's good. It really does deal with like the fallout of that. But like over the course of the season, it doesn't really go anywhere though. That whole thing just kind of fizzles out, really. It just basically ends with Kendall going, yeah, I lost. Womp womp.
So yeah, basically. So this is kind of why I don't like season 3 as much as the others. I still think the writing of it is great, but they put more emphasis on like showing us Kendall getting trodden on again. And I'm like, what I feel like I enjoyed about season 2 was that final moment of liberation from getting out from underneath his dad's boot.
Yeah.
Season 3 kind of reinforces that, like, no, your dad's boot will just slap you again. Like, it will just stamp on you right back again. I do like how it puts a light on Kendall in terms of, like, his relationship with women. There's a lot of, like, he's doing this to supposedly be, like, the paragon of truth. There's a real cringy moment where, like, the camera shows that one of his tweets is being, like, put on the news channel, and it's like, we must work to overthrow the industry that suppresses women or something. And it's the most corporate, like, Joe Biden, let's get this done kind of tweet.
When you said a really cringeworthy movement, I thought you meant it was going to be the one where he was walking into, like, I think it was, like, the Met or something, the museum, and he went, shall I give them something? And then he just goes, fuck the patriarchy! And he thinks that's the coolest thing ever. He's so fucking proud of himself.
Yeah. But that's Kendall, isn't it? Like, he thinks he's so cool.
He thinks he's the world's coolest person, and everyone wants to be him, and everyone's having fun with him. And, like, just, I hate it so much. It's so cringeworthy. But whenever he just, like, walks up to a group of people, he always does the same thing. It's always like, there they are, there he is, there's my guy, you know? And they're always just so awkward and just don't want to be with him at all. It's always just like, yeah, man. Yeah, cool. Yeah, good. And he's always like, so what are we going to do, bro? Are we going to fucking shoot the shit? We going to fuck this up? Let's fucking do this, bro. And they're always like, yeah, let's go, you know?
It's the I think the scene that epitomizes it for me is the 40th birthday. I mean, it's the whole episode really, but like it starts with him shouting off of his fucking penthouse apartment, "It's my birthday, fuck you!" And then the episode ends with him curled up in his girlfriend's lap having a mental breakdown because no one wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
On the same balcony. What I really like about this season is it does show you Kendall kind of growing a sense of self-awareness. He comes way off from being self-aware, but throughout the season he slowly realizes, like, am I a prick? Am I a complete fucking prick?
Yeah, and you are. He is.
And he is, yeah, for sure. The birthday thing, the birthday episode is one of my favorite episodes of the whole show because it's just so sad and the trajectory of it just goes so down. Like, his girlfriend buys him a watch and he's like, I don't need this. Like, do you know who I am at all? I don't want this. Like,
it's such a shitty thing to say. Like,
terrible. Yeah.
Even if it's true, shut up. Did you learn nothing from the avocado kid? Okay? We've all received presents we don't like. You just say thank you and move on, okay? It's an avocado. Thanks. And you put it away and you move on. But you're very polite and nice about it.
The avocado kid has more polite etiquette than Kendall does.
It's true.
But I like the episode in general because it's like like his girlfriend gets him the watch. She doesn't know who he is at all. She's just like, here's an object. I don't really know what else to get for you.
Yeah.
His like he kind of like wimps out of doing his big weird Wu-Tang performance with a bit of Billy Joel's honesty going on in there as well. And it essentially ends with him like scrambling, tearing up a bunch of like superficial presents to find the one real thing that he's got, which is his kids made him a present.
Yeah.
And he's like, just if I can find that, then I might be okay. But he just doesn't find it. No. It's so sad.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. I do like that there's this, Shiv calls him Plastic Jesus the whole season, which is pretty much exactly right, like what he's doing. It's very much like, when you look at how he speaks to women privately versus what he says that he's doing this for, what he wants to take over the company to promote the values of. What do you think of like how he is with his like assistant, his lawyer, Shiv?
His lawyer was the worst because like he basically hired his lawyer for the name alone, but then thought that, oh, I know more than her. I can do a much better job than she can, so I'll actually be running things. But she's like the name of it all, really. Yeah. But she's obviously so much smarter than him and knows more about law because she's actually fucking studied it. Okay.
She's like, I don't do requests because I'm not a DJ.
Sure. That was a good line. Yeah. The way you treat her was fucking awful. And she even calls him out at one point. She even says, do you think you're smarter than me? At one point. And he's like, no, but clearly he does. He's
like in the Department of Justice creating a fake scene, and he's like, that's going to light a fire under him. I'm like, it's the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell them what they need to do. He gets Shiv on side. Is like, me and you could create a culture of like, you know, actually pushing women forward and into the spotlight. Like, Logan doesn't value you. Like, he'll never let a woman take over. If you stick with me, that's your best bet of like getting your time in the sun. And then when she like is like, no, this is bullshit, he's like, well, it's only your teats that give you any value. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, not great. Not great from Kendall. Yeah.
L's from Kendall, left and right this season.
L's from Kendall. He is a bit of a prick. But yeah, also he confessed to the murder, which is quite cool.
Brilliant performance.
Brilliant performance. Yeah, good scene. And one of the few moments of like the siblings actually being all together in this season as well, which was quite nice, I think.
And they have no idea what to say to him at
all. Just like, fuck, man. I mean, sounds like his fault, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I do like that because obviously they're trying to comfort Kendall, but they're also echoing the same, like, every single one of these kids has their dad in them to a degree. Like Roman's literally like, it's not a problem, it's fine. Like the highlighting the no real person involved thing from last season. Like, Roman's like,
do you want to see my impression of Roman / Kieran Culkin? Okay.
Go on.
And this is purely visual, so sorry to everyone listening.
Okay, yeah, go on.
But this is purely for Lawrence. Okay, it's this. Hold on.
Yeah, it does that a lot. For the listeners, Nathan is just scrunching his face up and pulling a quizzical look. which is Roman most of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Kendall is because that comes after his quote unquote suicide attempt. Was there any part of you that was like, they killed Kendall? Jesus.
No, I didn't even realize until the next episode. I thought he was just chilling. I thought he was just chilling in the pool, and then the next episode opens like, "Fuck, he tried to kill himself."
You thought this is a really long.
I was like,
shot.
Nice, okay. I did think
He had his head under the water.
I know.
He dropped his bottle.
I didn't know. The camera was under the water. I didn't know what was going on. There's a difficult angle, you know.
That's fair, yeah. I do like that after that. He's he decides to shave his head. He goes for a very stripped back vibe, but he's wearing a gold Japanese chain around his neck and his custom Ray-Bans.
That chain is fucking horrendous. He shaved his head before that though. He arrived at the wedding with a shaved head.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. What do you make of his conversation with Logan? They have a dinner together.
The Logan and Kendall thing is very interesting throughout the whole season. I find it really interesting when they went to Adrian Brody's house.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And fucking, first of all, what is Adrian Brody doing trying to kill Logan Roy? All right, you cannot look at Logan Roy and think this man can handle a brisk walk along the beach. Okay, all right, look at him. I couldn't handle that walk. Okay, he's outrageous. All right. Of course he's gonna have a heart attack or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found all of that stuff interesting and how Logan was like, I am literally dying, but still, fuck off and leave me alone. You know, still, I don't want to see him weak or anything.
He disregards Kendall so much. There's a really funny bit where Kendall's like, yeah, you can't do this because you're old. You know, your lawyers are flagging. You don't know what to do. You need to let go. If you announce today, I'll go easy on you. And Logan just completely cuts him out and goes, water, give me water. Just barks him. He's like, I'm not listening to you, dude. I just need some. Have you got any water with you?
Yeah, it's true. It's good. But his conversation with Logan at the
poisons the grandkid. Tries to.
Oh, that was fucked. That was so fucked. I was like, you really think your own son is going to poison you? And to test it out, you're going to make your fucking grandson eat the mozzarella?
Stone cold.
Insane behavior.
It was a little callback to, I think, episode 2 of the season. Connor goes, they get a packet of donuts when none of the kids are supposed to be seeing Kendall. Their dad sends them some donuts to psych them out. And everyone's like, it changes the vibe. They're all like, why would he do this? He knows. Yeah. Oh my God. And Connor goes, do you really think he would send poisoned donuts to the house where his grandchildren live? Yep.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Kendall's look of what the fuck is wrong with you?
That is truly insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
But Kendall's coy about it as well, though. There is where he's like, oh, that one's for my dad.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of
I think that's just to fuck with him though. I think.
Yeah, I think it was a play on the donut thing.
Yeah, it's purely to fuck. At that point he'd already been like, oh yeah, I'll have my own food. I'm fine, you know. And he's like, I'm not gonna poison you. You're fine, okay.
Yeah.
I think he's just fucking with him. Really.
Yeah, he was trying to do a little icebreaker for his dad. I guess.
Sure.
And then Logan's like, everyone's out to betray me. Where's your grandchild? I'll give him poison mozzarella.
What is this Logan voice you do?
That's what he does. He's got a weird Scottish twang vibe where he's just a gruff man.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
He just goes, fuck off.
Yeah, he does. That's his catchphrase.
Fuck him.
We'll get to the finale at the end because I want to talk about that as a whole thing where we talk about everyone and what they do. But what do you make of Shiv this season?
So Shiv is what is Shiv doing this season? Kind of just getting fucked over, really, the whole
Pretty much
time.
Spending every single episode being like, can I be involved? And everyone goes, no.
Go away.
Are you still a woman? Yep. Then no.
But by the way, the fact that there was there was a whole episode where they just chose the next president And the fact that that's a thing that happens, that they go to this private party and they're like, so who do we think should be the next president of the United fucking States? Let's not bother with an election, know? Let's just all of us decide. Sure, we'll have the election for the little people. They can all have their say. But really, we know who it's going to be.
I love that, though. I think obviously it stretches credulity a little bit. Like, you go,
I don't know if it does.
Yeah, they do it in a believable way where it's essentially like Logan runs Fox News, essentially. Right? And like whoever Fox News goes, this is the president, a bunch of fucking Republican dipshits are going to go, that's my president. Right? We saw this in 2016.
Well, yeah, but I think it worked so well in 2016 that they've kind of poisoned the well for anyone else now, though. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, because they started a cult by accident.
They birthed the cult of Trump. So now anyone else, even a Republican, they're like, that's not my president.
But yeah, no, that is a terrifying show of power. Like, I love the concept that essentially whoever just impresses Logan, he can essentially make them the president. Like, and it's
like purely self-serving as well.
Yeah,
it's purely so whoever is the president, because they had like an ongoing thing with the current one, but then Roman pissed him off or whatever, so he was like, no, I'm no longer going to be the president.
They ran the rumor that he has syphilis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no, sorry, syphilis was the other guy. They ran a rumor that he has like dementia, and like
they pissed off the president because they started running just news that he wasn't the best or whatever. He wasn't in great shape. So then he's like, well, I'm not running for another term, so fuck you. So they're like, all right, we'll pick the next one then. And then he'll be our fucking little pawn puppet thing. I like that they, like, Connor goes, what about me? No, Connor's just like, just coughing in the background while they're talking about it. And then Logan goes, what the fuck are you doing? All right, let's talk about Connor, shall we?
And Greg's like, I think for the good of the American Republic, I need to say, maybe don't anoint Connor the presidency.
That was very good. That was very good. But no, they gave their vote to Hitler or whatever.
Yeah, so obviously I won't say too much about like where season 4 goes, but the election plays a part in the finale of the entire arc of the season and the show. And it is
why
interesting.
Become the president?
What? No, I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I've seen it. In fact, I know it's not true.
Well, it could be.
I like that this expands on Shiv's position in season 2 a little bit. You know, when she did the witness tampering, which went against any kind of liberal, like moral values that she kind of purportedly put on herself. I like that this one is like she does genuinely seem quite concerned. Like, no, let's not give our endorsement to the fascist who is like talking about putting people in camps and shit. Maybe let's not do that. But it comes down to Logan kind of streamlines it right in her face and is like, are you with this family? Because if you take this photo with the fascists, that's your political career done.
And also, didn't that guy say he was a Democrat?
I know that he's not running on the side of Democrats, but he might have said like, oh, there's some like ideals I share with Democrats or whatever, but like...
I'm sure he said he was a Democrat at one point, but I don't know, I can't remember.
I do like that Logan, it's just manipulative the way he's like, if Shiv takes this photo with the right-wing fascist presidential candidate, like that's her career as a Democrat political strategist over forever. So like, does she want to tie herself to this kind of this boat essentially? Which I thought was a really interesting point. What else is she doing? She doesn't want to have Tom's kid.
Well, Tom's going to prison.
Yes.
So Tom willingly offered himself up to go to prison as kind of like a way to gain some, I don't know, some favor with Logan, I guess. Yeah. And we'll get back to that.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
But so he's gone to prison and he's been checking out the prison blogs and he's been reading up on, like, he's going to college, you know, like he's looking at prospective prisons, like which one is the best one for him, you know, what's the curriculum like and stuff.
Do they have good exercise programs?
Yeah. And I did find it very funny when he was talking about like how he enjoys coming home and having his chilled glass of wine, and then he doesn't think he'll be able to have that in prison. He'll have to have toilet wine instead.
Toilet wine,
yeah.
There's an amazing line. He's talking to like an ex-con or something, and he's like, "Your toilet is your brother, your best friend. It can be a bastard," and he's like, "Your toilet can be a bastard."
Yeah, insane. So yeah, the relationship of Tom and Shiv getting just again being not great and just clearly
being terrible, yeah,
terrible. Just showing you at every point, just these people are just so wrong for each other, really.
Yeah, and it's strange, right? Because like obviously the last season ended with Shiv pretty much giving away the top job, to save Tom, and then season 3 picks up with Tom not knowing that, still not liking Shiv for wanting to throw him under the bus. And then Tom going, I'm going to tell Logan that I don't mind going to prison. And Shiv's like, so what the fuck was any of that for?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, so there is this element of, like, I think Shiv starts to resent him. They're obviously, finding themselves drifting apart because of the fact that, like, Tom essentially sees her as an incubator for an heir. and Shiv just sees him as almost this kind of dead weight that's tying her down now and making her lose opportunities because of her commitment to him.
Well, they do have a moment where they engage in some spicy talk during a bedroom sequence. And it's supposed to be this, be mean to me, degrade me sort of thing, but it's just seems just too real, really. She just flat out says, you're bad for me and I don't love you. Yeah. And you're a terrible person. And I was like, this does not seem like the kind of pillow talk you want. Like,
this is why Sarah Snook is the best actor working today, right? Because she even, like, she said it in interviews and stuff, she starts the performance putting on this kind of sexy, seductive voice. And then halfway through that dialogue sequence, she just stops doing the voice and is just talking to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, what an incredible choice that says so much about this. That it's, it's not foreplay. It's just a rare opportunity she has to say. Tom has a line about, like, I think maybe sometimes I listen to the things you say directly to my face when we're at our most intimate. And she's like, you can't hold that against me. That's manipulative, Tom.
It's pretty wild. Pretty not great.
Not great stuff from her. She has that whole kind of we see a bit more of her relationship with her mum, which has famously been terrible. And she says, like, I think you made the right choice. Some people aren't fit to be mothers. I should have had dogs. Which is just crazy to hear coming from your mum.
Did her mum say that?
Yeah, her mum said I should have had dogs instead of kids.
I must have missed that.
And Shiv comes home, like, immediately. That's when Shiv is, like, before that foreplay sequence where she's like, let's have sex, let's have a baby. Because it's not for Tom, it's not for her. She just wants to prove her mum wrong. Like, unfortunately, Shiv's sense of self is so based on who can I prove wrong. Yeah, that she often forgets to be a good person in the middle of all of that.
And doesn't it go from let's have sex, let's have a baby to let's freeze eggs, and maybe in 10 years we can have a baby.
Yeah, which is crazy considering they're 40. Like, they're not young.
Yeah.
Like, I know people can have babies at 40 and 50 and stuff, but, like...
Well, we'll talk about older people having babies soon.
Oh, my Lord, we will, yeah. Anything else I got? Oh, Shiv, crazy good Shiv episode for the shareholder meeting when they're essentially going to lose control of the company if it comes down to a vote.
This was a very good episode. So the other night I said to you, I just watched an episode that was very interesting, and it was the shareholder meeting
I thought
episode.
It was this one, yeah.
Yeah. It was this one because it was so intense just all the way through. You're like, fuck, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? You know?
Yeah.
It quite literally was that meme of, like, Succession fans after watching an episode, and then it's just pictures of people in boardrooms, because that's all the episode is. But it's thrilling. You know? It's thrilling. And the way that whole fucking that whole shareholders meeting plays out with the deal and the different levels to the deal and all this kind of stuff, and the way that Shiv is able to, like, take control of that, but also the fact that Logan is just fucked throughout it as well. He doesn't know where he is. Yeah. He doesn't know. He thinks there's a cat under his chair, and
they run an empty bag past Kendall, and Kendall's like, "What the fuck is that?"
And Roman goes, "That's an imaginary dead cat or something." He's fucked out of his mind. He doesn't know where he is, and then the moment, like, because he says to them, fuck the deal. We don't want it. We don't want that deal. Okay. And they're all like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. They all, like, talk themselves into it. Like, fuck yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's tell him to fuck off. So they do it, and then they slowly realize that he's out of his fucking mind and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And just the look of realization on their faces. And then they start to panic, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. It does. In fairness, it does start off quite subtle because Logan is always just abrasive and aggressive as a person.
Yeah.
But then, like, you start to twig things are wrong. He, like, turns to Colin, his bodyguard, and is like, what do you think of the deal? And he's like, seems cool, seems good. Like, that is so not something he would do.
Yeah.
It just slowly it builds and builds, and like until like Tom has to like help him piss again a bit more.
Yeah.
Even in his most delusional, he's like Tom's a trustworthy guy. Like obviously his sacrifice obviously resonates quite highly with Logan.
Yeah.
I do love. I think they managed to give Shiv a really good episode while never ever betraying the overall arc for Shiv, which is unfortunately just a devolution in morals and character overall. Because she does save the day, but she does it by wrangling another woman and saying, you should have a board seat for yourself. And obviously then we would have to stack the board so I get a board seat for myself. Like, your dad would never do this, but, you know, us women can take control and take charge.
Does she even get that board seat for herself, though? Because then in the later episode, they talk about the board seat, and she says, for me, and then Logan looks at her funny, and she, like, goes, or whoever, you know? Like, she quickly backs down from that.
So she does... I don't know if it comes to her in that episode, but later on, she has a certain sway. There are sequences where Shiv's input is needed.
Well.
We will get to that. There's one of my favorite all-time visual gags is when, obviously, in amongst all of this shenanigans and chaos in the background, they obviously have a shareholder meeting going on. So there's just a bunch of people fighting for time on stage.
Oh, I think I might. If it's the one I'm thinking of, this killed me as well.
Is it? So they run a VT.
Yes.
Of the company's women. Basically, like the only women in the show that are involved in Waystar.
And they're like, we recognize we have made mistakes, okay? But we're taking steps to move forward with that and to show how we really care and value. Switch it off.
Yeah, just the way Shiv goes, like, at Waystar, one of our biggest requirements is the need to push for success and women empowerment. And Carl just walks on, shuts it down by barely looking at it and goes, hello. And then just reads that they had a deal.
Hilarious. Such a good joke.
It fucking kills me every single time I've seen that. Yeah, it's brilliant. But I don't know what. The last thing I'll say on Shiv, the word's unpleasant, so I'm not going to use it. But they play a specific Nirvana. Kendall sabotages her with a specific Nirvana song.
Oh, Rape Me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fine.
You can say the name of the song.
No, but it's a bit. it's.
Yeah, it's fair. Fair. But
it's not the nicest word.
No, but it is a song called.
Yeah. Again, does two things spectacularly well: undermines Shiv entirely, and also makes Kendall just seem like the biggest piece of shit on the planet.
Yeah, definitely.
Despite trying to be like, I love women, and all of this stuff. I don't know. It's such a moment where you can see that it devastates Shiv because she's handling the situation quite well.
This was her big moment. You know, this was her big, look at me, I can be in charge of the company too stuff moment, and ruined. And
she pulls that moment out of nowhere as well because like Logan gives her the role of president. Which is made up. They didn't have one before Shiv.
Yeah, it is completely a made up position.
Yeah. And they named Jerry as the interim CEO, and Logan gets Shiv into the company by saying, essentially, you're making decisions and pretending they're Jerry's decisions, so that when we're done with this scenario, we can burn Jerry and you can take over. Yeah. And so Shiv does she puts herself out there as the face, not the face of the scandal, but like as a public figure addressing that they are addressing the wrongdoings and stuff. Right? Yeah. Like it's burning all political ties that she could ever have and becoming the token woman. And she does a great job, and then Kendall fucks her with that. And just, I don't know, there's an incredible shot where she kind of walks up to his office, opens Kendall's like diary or whatever it is, or like his like calendar that's on his desk, and she just spits in it and closes it. And I'm like, oh my God, this show. Incredible work.
It's pretty good.
It is very good. Roman, up to all sorts.
Romulus, yeah.
Romulus, indeed.
He sent his dad a dick pic.
Well, we'll circle. We'll get there. We'll get there because there's a bit.
That's pretty later on in the season. It is worth mentioning.
I tell you what, I like this season. I've said in previous episodes, and maybe it was like sitting down and properly rewatching it. I maybe don't necessarily agree with stuff I said last week.
Good.
So I said that this is season 1 is Kendall, season 2 is Shiv, season 3 is Roman.
Yeah,
and
this is not Roman's season.
Yeah, I don't know. People say it is. I don't know if I agree with that anymore.
I wouldn't agree with that at all. No,
because he does certainly.
I just watched it.
Well, yeah. He does get his sway. Like, his dad leans on Roman more than he's ever leaned on him in terms of decision making.
Yes, he does, and he does get a moment to shine.
He does. Stuff. And then there is the pivotal, like, kind of episode 8, episode 9 moment where they fuck it. For Kendall, it was killing the kid, obviously, and betraying his dad. For Shiv, it was don't send Tom to jail. And for Roman, it was accidentally sending his dad a picture of his dick.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked.
But I like that from episode 1, Roman is like the first. His instincts are horrible at first, but he's like, don't cooperate, destroy Kendall's reputation, easy. And Logan does it, and it turns out to be horrendously wrong in the FBI fucking raiding Waystar. But he's saying stuff confidently, which is half the battle with Logan, I think.
Yeah. What does Roman do apart from just he just pitches to people? He just pitches to always some business dickhead, okay?
Yeah.
And then they'll like go and piss on a phone together or whatever because they're good mates, all right?
Yeah.
And then Logan will take over the business deal. That's always what happens. But other than that, what does he actually do?
Well, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't obviously know the ins and outs of a chief operating officer's job, obviously, but that is pretty much half of it, right? Like, you pitch a deal, you make a connection, you bring it to the chief executive.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, what do you think of this? And they go, sure, or no, fuck off.
But like Roman specifically, I'm also saying like in the show, I don't think he has much to do.
Oh, no, he's his dad's errand boy.
Yeah, not as much as the others. I feel like the focus is a lot less on him. And he's such a dick as well.
He's such a dick.
He's such a dick.
So there, yeah, I think that's
and he's
a part
also
of...
like Kieran Culkin is a good actor, but he's also just so annoying in the fact that like he's annoying and it's good because it's good acting, but it's also annoying in the fact that like he just can't take anything seriously, you know? People are trying to actually talk to this guy must be the worst fucking experience in the world. Just trying to actually be serious and have a conversation. It's like, geez, we could totally fucking do that. Fuck off, you know? Like that's all he'd say, you know? He'd just sarcastically tell you to fuck off and then go and then just scrunch up his face and walking around in his little trousers and his little shirt. That's all he does. You know?
In his little trousers and his little shirt.
He's always wearing a nice pair of slacks with a shirt tucked in. That's all he's ever wearing.
It's true, yeah.
This is the uniform.
I like what he does this season. I think it's interesting because it shows him the more emboldened with power by his dad, the more like his dad he becomes. And like, because obviously everyone remembers Roman from season 1 as a scared little dog, right? Like genuinely a puppy that's afraid he's going to get kicked again, right? But like, there is this interesting aspect that the more Logan strokes his ego, he starts to act out and be a prick. I think you get that in Kendall's 40th birthday, where he makes the deal with Alex Skarsgård, and essentially knows that he's going to walk into the office the next day, tell his dad it went well. And in his eyes, every single good thing he ever does, he thinks that Logan's going to turn around and go, good job, son, now you're the CEO, which is never going to happen. And I think, what do you make of his, like, the ending of the 40th birthday party for how he speaks to Kendall and Shiv?
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
He's such a dick. This is, again, just a moment of it just being insufferable. And, like, I don't know if he'd had a drink or... I don't think they've ever shown Roman doing drugs. I don't know if he does any kind of drugs or anything like that.
They often say he does, but we never see it. So I think it's all a lot of public hearsay, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. But he's definitely had a drink and he's just insufferable. Like, fucking annoying, yeah.
I I do like that, like, in this emulation of his dad, there's a lot of stuff where he says, like, he starts speaking like Logan a lot of the time. He, like, Kendall says something to him and he's like, "You lost!" And he's, like, barking at him like Logan does in terms of that show of power. And there's a direct parallel when Kendall kind of gets in his face a little bit because he's having the worst night of his life. And Roman says to him outright, "Do you want to hit me?" And it's exactly the same thing that his dad said to him in the pilot episode of the whole show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's a part of Kendall that can see, because he's having his self-realization moment of, oh, I'm a puppet and I suck and I'm a terrible guy.
Yeah.
And he can see that Roman is falling into the exact trap that Kendall has spent the last 39 years of his life into, essentially being number one son. How easily manipulated you can be in being in Logan's good graces like that.
I think my favorite moment of Roman in this season comes from the ending, but we'll talk about that separately, I guess.
Oh, definitely, yeah. When we get to the finale, yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say on Roman is that he's got there's a very kind of sad moment where they have this interview. One of them has to go and share a load of fond childhood memories that they had with their dad.
God, yeah.
And he's just got nothing.
Yeah, he uses, like, he speaks to Logan later and he says, like, Logan asks him about the fishing trip and he says, "Oh, yeah, no, that was actually Connor." But
So there's a nice interchangeable family childhood memory. And Logan has no problem with that. He's not affected at all. In fact, he goes, "What's all this, ooh, I love my daddy," kind of, he, like, taunts him about it.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
Horrendous.
I do like that you learn more about Connor through all of that, though. Like, he's essentially raised these kids while Logan was off being a prick and running a company. Because, like, when you look at Logan now, he's not raising any kids. Like, he's not got time for that. He's always on planes and in different countries. Like, let's talk about the dick pic before we go any further.
Here's my thing, okay, and I feel like this is important.
Did you pause to look at the dick? Yeah.
No, I didn't. Okay, but whose dick is that? All right?
It's a model dick, isn't it?
I know, but, like, who did they get? That's what I'm asking. I'm like, can you imagine that casting role? Like, we need a dick.
No,
okay?
it was
because it's obviously not going to be Kieran Culkin. They're obviously not going to say, "Hey, just quickly take a picture of your dick.
Yeah.
We need it for 6." They're obviously not going to get Kieran Culkin's actual dick, okay?
No, yeah.
They need to make sure it's, presentable for camera. It can't be like a knuckly dick or anything like that. It needs to be quite a pretty little dick, okay?
Yeah.
Not little as in, like, but like just a pretty dick.
It's a dick that didn't seem to match Roman's vibe, that dick.
No, it didn't. It seemed to come from a man who was too muscular to be Roman, I think. Yeah, didn't quite match up.
If I was going to, I don't often try to do this, but if I was going to picture what Roman's dick would look like, I see it being a long, thin dick.
Okay.
Like a noodly dick.
Maybe they're right. Maybe we do need Catherine to rein us in.
No, I don't think it's a person. I think it's a model. Like actors get fake dicks.
No, yeah. No, I think it's a person. I think
they got a person?
I think they got a person.
I think the photo looks too, like, staged and rigid.
Yeah, because it's a professionally shot dick pic, They're not just gonna... I don't think they just, like, made a dick out of, like, plasticine or some shit,
They've done that before. Like, there's a lot of actors that wear fake prosthetic dicks.
Yeah, but that's for, like fucking intimacy scenes and everything like that, though.
True, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, but, like, I think for fucking... I think they got a guy. They got a dick model... And then they took him to a studio. They gave him a nice lunch,
How big must your ego be if you can say you get paid lots of money to be a dick model?
Probably about the same as the ego of a porn star, okay?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Because you'd have to have a pretty big ego to say, like, people pay money to see me fuck, okay?
Yeah.
I
Check
get paid
me out,
to fuck, okay?
What do you make of, like, I think it's one of the funniest scenes in TV.
It's hilarious. It's genuinely fucking hilarious. The fact that earlier as well, Jerry told him to stop sending him dick pics as well.
Yeah.
And she, like, says, "Well done." He's like, "Oh, the natural way to respond to this is with a picture of my penis."
Yeah.
Okay?
She says, like, celebrate over... She says, "Well done, Roman." And he's like, "Celebrate over dinner? Eat this, Jerry."
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with you?
And I can't even remember how he sent it to his dad. I think like something came up on his phone or something.
The same thing happened that Jerry did. Jerry and his dad both texted him at the same time saying, "Good job."
Okay.
So he was for Logan to pick up his phone and text his son, "Great work."
Yeah.
He is as high as you can be in his good graces. And then in replying to Jerry, there's a bit of standard TV and movie. That's not how a phone works, but whatever.
Yeah.
And his dad texts him, and he tries to scroll up. And he said, clicks on his dad's message, and the message he was typing transfers to his dad's thread.
Yeah, that's not how phones work.
No, it's not how phones work. But, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Very, very funny, but also very telling in the sense that, like, Logan's reaction to that was, should we fire Jerry?
Yes.
Jerry is the one who is being sexually harassed here. Okay, she physically told him to stop sending him these pictures. Okay, and now they're considering firing her. Even Roman says, like, look, I'm not the biggest feminist, but like, maybe let's not fire Jerry because I sent her dick pics.
Yeah, maybe not the craziest idea that we could do in the midst of a sexual assault allegation and like everything, or like literally a fucking sex crime scandal.
Insane.
I like that there's even in comedy moments like this, where this is obviously designed to be a fucking hilarious scene that crumbles Roman's arc in the most Roman way possible. Yeah. But it's still, it helped the very next episode, or the episode after, sorry, is Jerry chooses a side. And because she's been proven, I can't trust this guy anymore. I almost lost my job because of this guy and his backwards dad, who is my boss.
Yeah.
I just, it's the most Logan thing possible, the most Roman thing possible, and I just find it so fucking funny that that's how his chance ended.
Just the look on his face when he realizes, the way he just awkwardly looks at his dad. Yeah. Like, oh, fuck, sorry.
Kieran Culkin's physical performance.
Yeah, he just like shrinks in on himself, and it's...
He like extends his arm out. You know when you like stretch when you've got nothing to do because you feel awkward?
Yeah.
It's so funny. So funny. All right, we can talk... I'd like to talk about Tom. We haven't really ever had a segment for Tom. We normally talk about him and his relationship to Shiv, but I feel he becomes quite independent of Shiv this season.
What about Connor?
You can talk about Connor.
He's still running for president.
And it's still to no avail.
No, but he does propose to the woman he bought. Okay.
Yes.
And she very clearly does not want to marry him. Okay. But then after like 3 days of thinking it over, reluctantly agrees. So that's quite funny. I did actually like that scene where all the siblings are at dinner, and I think it's Kendall says, like, as the oldest son, he's like, no, I'm the oldest son. Yeah. And he like kind of just snaps and calls them all out on shit. I liked that scene. I thought that was good.
It's rare, right? Because Connor's mostly the comic relief. Right? Yeah. Like he's designed to be just a stupid character, but he has these quiet, heartbreaking moments where he's just like sick of it.
Yeah.
I like him proposing to Willa. It's terrifying because of the implications of everything, and he's mostly doing it so that, if the truth about her ever comes out, he can be like, hey, I'm one of the good ones, I married her.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that kind of icky vibe to it, but in terms of the power that Willa has over him, it's very much like, well, I'm doing this anyway. I'd like a stake in this family. Like, this is if this billionaire dies, then I get that. Like, there is an element of Willa ensuring her own future in all of that.
And fair enough.
Yeah.
Get that money, girl.
And they do seem like besties. Like, they seem like very I know they're having sex, but they feel like very sexless best friends. Like, they do get along enough to share a life together, I think. Which is kind of just what Connor needs, I think. He just needs someone to be present for him.
Yeah. She does like actively like back his campaign and like work and help out with him and stuff. And she's not just like completely apathetic about the whole thing, really. Yeah.
She's not being dragged along anywhere.
No. She does support him and she does have fun.
I like her because she's the most normal one. Like, when I first watched this show, like, obviously, like, they go to amazing hotels and incredible villas and everything like that. And she is typically the only character that like walks into a manor house room and goes, oh wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is what normal people do. but they're
Yeah.
all so like dead brain to it because they've had it their whole life.
Yeah, it did remind me. This season did remind me of a scene from the first season because of Kendall's birthday party, where there's like the VIP area, which is hilariously called the treehouse, and he very funnily at one point says, "You're not allowed in my treehouse." To Shiv, which is just very childish and petty but fun. But it just reminded me of like a scene from the first season where Greg and Tom go out. And they go clubbing and they go to the VIP area and they're just like alone on a couch. And then Greg's like, so it's cool to be away from the party and just watch it from a distance. And he's like, yeah, man, that's the VIP lifestyle.
That's being rich. That's amazing. Yeah.
And I've always never understood that. Like the VIP, surely the fun area is with the crowd. It's like where you are, not just like away from it on a chair.
Yeah,
you know?
where you
like,
can only talk to the person you've come out with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. They may as well be in the office.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall's whole party, like, if you break down all the rooms that he's set up, this elaborate show of fucking grandiose and stupidity, it's like an ode to his whole life.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, you walk through an inflatable replica of his mother's vagina, which is
Insane. Yeah.
terrible. And I like that Roman keeps stepping back into it and is like, I am entering my mother's vagina.
I like that throughout this season, Shiv has so many moments where she just calls Roman out on constantly being weird and mentioning how he keeps mentioning that he wants to fuck his mother or his sister or just like, what is with you? Why do you keep doing that, you weird little man? Okay.
she has a few. She says no one talks about me fucking guys as much as you.
Yeah.
Like including her husband.
It's true.
And the other one that made me laugh was the when Roman keeps saying that he wants to like put an end to his mum's his mum remarrying this like obvious kind of gold digger dude.
Yeah.
She goes, you should say you object to the wedding. He's like, why? And then Shiv says like, because mummy's the only one that makes Ro's pee-pee go boom boom. It's so childish.
Very good. Very good. All right, so you wanted to talk about Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Tom Womsgasms.
Tom Womsgasms. I think he has an incredible season, right? Like he spends so long of it and in a low point, but he's making clever moves.
There's a moment where he finds out he's not going to prison, okay? And he just runs into Greg's office, wrecks it, and then leaves. And then the whole time Greg is very confused. Like, is this good or bad? What is going on? Which was very funny. Also, side note, disappointed with Greg this season, I will say.
Go on.
Because I feel like he's found himself a nice lady in this assistant person.
Yeah.
Who seems to be into him, you know?
Well,
and then he's like,
mostly to spite Kendall, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, all right. But still. And then he was like, what if I married this princess instead? You know? Disappointed.
I mean, I'm disappointed with Greg's slow dehumanization anyway. Like,
yeah, sure.
Like, he's even got a fancier haircut this season. Like, he's very quickly becoming one of this crowd.
He's trying to sue Greenpeace because his granddad is donating all his will basically to Greenpeace.
Yeah.
So he's trying to sue them.
But he's in like I find it I noticed something this season I've never noticed before, this watch of it, right? That like Logan seems to be very forgiving when it comes to Greg. Like,
there's a moment when like they go in to the suite to pick the president, and then someone's like, should Greg be here? And then Roman's like, Logan's like, sure, yeah, he can stay. Why not? Or whatever. He's like, just sit in the corner, but yeah.
He leaves him in the room where most people he would have been like, get that fucking guy out of the room.
Yeah.
And like Greg goes with his like granddad's lawyer who's like 1,000,000 years old and obviously just wants to use Greg as a vessel to like fight this corporation. And Greg, like, eventually Logan wants him on side so that it's very, let's all use the company lawyer so they can work out how they're going to lie and get us all out of crimes that we definitely did. And I just like the fact that Greg's like in his negotiation with Logan, he's like, can I have a like rum and Coke? And he goes, can we get Greg a Coca-Cola?
Yeah,
He goes, what Greg wants, Greg must have.
that was very fun. Yeah,
And Greg's like, what can I get? And he's like, that's not the way this works. Like, I don't know. I think it's mostly to piss his brother off, obviously, that he keeps Greg this kind of sweet. But Greg is slowly climbing that ladder because he gets away with murder. He's like untouchable because most of the stuff he did either goes unnoticed because Tom's essentially his human shield in everything. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about Tom. Obviously banks a lot of sway with Logan by being the fool guy and offering that up, which is great. There's this part where like he can't even say to Shiv that he loves her anymore. Like Shiv keeps in the first episode, Shiv keeps kind of like noodling him, like, you gonna say it back? She leaves him opportunities, and he's like, oh well, I just want to check we have a balanced love portfolio.
yeah.
It's very sad. But the one moment, and I'm kind of curious to get your take on this, because in season 1 you said Tom was a sitcom character. Like he works within the show, but he's not, you can't see him as like a realistic figure or a guy that like makes sense in this world. But something that I love that he has this great episode. Again, it's the Kendall birthday episode where he wants to be. He finds out he's not going to jail and he wants to be happy, but then like he can't seem to like get himself in a good mood at all. And I just love the implication there that it's essentially because he's just tied to another prison, right? Like metaphorically, like he's not going to jail, but he is stuck in a job where he calls his position the endless middle. And like he's married to Shiv, who doesn't respect him or love him. He can't have a child with her because she refuses to have a child with him. Like, I don't know. I just think he's very he's sad. He's a sad character in this season for a lot of it.
He is. Yeah, he is. He says at that part like he does a set amount of drugs in the wrong order, and that's why he thinks he can't get happy. And then he's like, they're walking through the tunnel of compliments where there's just like people's faces in the wall, and they're like, you look nice today, or you have a great aura, or something. And then to anyone, he's like, what did you say to me? he's just being so hostile.
That's a pretty weird thing to say.
Yeah. which is quite funny. Tom kind of like I don't know what to say really, because I don't know what I can say without going into sort of the ending of it all, really.
Yeah, no, that's
because
fair.
that's kind of where it all wraps up. So, can we talk about the ending?
Just after we say that he is tracking Shiv's ovulation like a creep.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
And that reveal happens like after Shiv saves the company.
Yeah.
And then is hit with a double whammy of Logan yelling at her to get out of his face. And then Tom being like, you did such an amazing job. We should have sex. You're so I think you're so sexy when you're fertile. And she's like, can I have one day where I'm not aggressively reminded that I'm a woman in this scenario? Like,
yeah, doesn't she say, what, you're trying to keep track of when I'm the most breedable or something?
And Tom's like, it's romantic, and Shiv's like, it's not at all.
No, it's pretty weird.
Yeah,
pretty weird.
Let's talk about the ending.
They get fucked, basically.
Yeah.
They all get fucked. They realize that. Okay, so hold on. First of all, okay, Logan is maybe sleeping with his assistant.
Yes.
Who's like 20 years old. Okay.
Yes.
Which is horrible, first of all.
Yeah. I think she's older than 20, but yeah.
All right, but she's very young, though. Okay.
She's young comparatively to him, who's a million,
yes. Yes. And she... Because they have quite a close relationship, and you see over the season that they do like get closer and stuff. And it does that thing which Succession does quite well, where it slowly feeds you little parts of it. It drip feeds you little stuff, and then you put it together yourself, and then by the end of the season, they're like, oh yeah, this is happening as well.
Yeah, and it's just information that you're treated to have. You should have known this by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it comes out in either the last episode or the second to last that he's taking like smoothies and stuff so he can be fertile again.
Yep.
So maybe they can have a baby or something.
I don't I don't think this is Logan. I think this is just a fuck you to his kids. He's sick of dealing with his kids.
Yeah. So he's like, what if I had a new kid?
Yeah, and I think that very much is it's more the threat of it, right? Because like Logan would be insane to do this, right? In the midst of going deny, deny, deny. I had no idea these sexual assaults were happening and these crimes. I'm paying a lot of money to have my wife back by my side, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh yeah, Marsh is back.
Yeah, well, I'm paying a lot of money to secure her trust. Also, here's a baby I'm having with a 30-year-old. Also, all those sex crimes still weren't me, I promise. Like,
also, she's 20.
Yeah. Look, either way, it would be an insane move, and he's not even that dumb. I think it's mostly just a spiteful thing for his kids.
But he is sleeping with her.
He's definitely sleeping with her, yeah.
Yeah, which is gross. Yeah.
Yeah, horrendous.
Okay. Yeah, that's an awful thing to think about. Okay, so...
I still want that Logan sex scene.
No, I don't. Okay, so they figure out that like he's selling the company to this other company to a Skarsgård boy.
Yeah, who is like a new tech Swede.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
And I like that he is just clearly so depressed as well. He is so clinically depressed. Okay, and he's like, I don't know, nothing brings me joy anymore.
Yeah, but he has no outlet for it because everyone just keeps wanting to probe him for money and like.
Because he's so rich and wealthy, and he has just everything he wants. He's just made him depressed.
He bought a villa on a private island off of Italy. And he's like sleeping on a mattress on the floor because he can't work out what bed to buy. Like it's
because he can't get the world's comfiest mattress or something. So he's like, well, I might just as well have no mattress then. You know, insane.
He's such a fun. I love Alex Skarsgård as an actor. Anyway, I think he's so fun.
Name one other thing he's been in.
The Northman.
Well done.
Thank you. But he's very like. I love his presence in this. Because he's also. Logan, it's funny that Logan respects him because he's a weird guy as well. Like he says, like, "Oh, give me 3 words to describe you: pussy, privacy, pasta." Like, he's an odd guy, and he's still a bit of a deviant, like Roman is, but he makes more sense and can do deals. And Logan's like, "This is obviously a guy that I can work with. Who is if I sell my company to him and stay on the board, he's gonna still bring me a lot of money in." Whereas, like. I think he sees that if he gave it to Roman, Shiv, or Kendall, they would essentially burn the company down in 2 weeks, and Logan would have no money, or no more money coming in. But yeah, right. So anyway,
so they realize they're being fucked over, and he's going to sell the company and cut them out of the deal. But they're like, fuck him, he can't do that. We're on the board. He needs like our vote or some shit like that. I don't understand how business works. So they like go to quickly like make their way over and have like a big standoff to him. And this is the moment where I like the one moment throughout the season I actually like Roman because he finally stands up to his dad, albeit very pathetically, and he's fucking terrified the entire time, and he's shaking like a shitting dog. Okay, but he does finally stand up to him, which is good to see, and he does like say, don't do this or whatever. But it appears they have been sold out along the way. Someone told Logan that they were coming.
Gave him the heads up, like, you need to reopen that divorce settlement because they've got a leeway you weren't aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their mum fucks them over as well.
Yep.
Which
in the middle of her wedding night as well.
Yeah.
Fun detail.
Which her new husband is very happy about. He's very excited about it. Of course he is.
This is what I mean. It all feeds in really well. They lay seeds really cleverly.
And it's Tom. Tom fucks them over. Just the way, like, fucking he comes through and, like, Logan gives him the pat on the back. And you're like, fuck, it's Tom?
Mate, that crash zoom to Sarah Snook's face playing Shiv.
The knife in the back.
Do you know what? It's not my favourite season. This is apart from Series 4, this is my favourite finale. This is my favourite... I love the kids working together. I love that sense of unity and how one by one, like Kendall's watching it all. Like, this is Tuesday for me. I love betraying dad. And like, even when his dad like pulls out little moves, he's kind of just like there for the ride of it. He's like, this happens all the time to me. Dad's always one step ahead.
Yeah.
Shiv is like very much trying to go balls to the wall, very aggressive, and Roman, like you say, is kind of the cowering dog of it all. And it's such a good dynamic. I love immediately that Logan tries his usual like divide and conquer tactic. He's like, get Kendall out of the room, and Kendall's like, nope. And then he's like, Roman, come with me. I'll look after you. He's going to keep you in a good role. He thinks you're a great guy.
Yeah.
And Shiv is just, I love that they just cut Logan out, and they're like, no more of this shit. Yeah. And he still wins. It's
insane. Yeah. What a cunt, man. He's such a cunt.
Yeah. Mate, when he opened, like when Shiv's like, you need a super majority, and he goes, no, and like taunts her. It's like, oh.
I mean, they're all cunts, but like, wow, what a cunt. Like the cunt of the cunts, you know?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Couple of things I really like about this. It's the knife in the back from Jerry to Roman, because she gave Roman an out. Stop sending me pictures of your dick. Then he put her at risk, and she went, I've chose my side now.
I think that's fair on her part, though.
Completely fair, but I love that it's not even that subtle, but just the way they end that arc, they put so much attention into blocking these scenes out, which is why the camera choice is so, like, the cinematography choice is so good, because it is so fluid and moving.
Here he goes, everyone. Here he goes.
I am, yeah. No, but it ends with Roman on his knees begging Jerry for help. Yeah. And I'm like, if that's not, you know, Roman loves being shamed in front of Jerry. This is not new information, but it's a clever bit of like blocking for that. I fucking love the way Tom comes in, and like before you kind of get that sense that it's Tom, he goes to Greg and has his private conversation where he pulls up the Nero and Sporus thing. Do you remember this?
Was it just me, or was that a very romantic conversation?
Yeah, mate, this is what I'm saying. I told you in season 1.
Never had it been more clear than when I saw this scene here. I was like, oh, they're going to run away together and get married?
I think he kisses him on his head at one point.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
So the story of Neo and Sporus, it's like, I think it's like a Greek myth or something.
I'm familiar, Lawrence. You don't have to tell me.
No, but
for the listeners, I mean, tell those. Tell everyone else, but don't tell me.
Okay, you know I never would. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the story goes that so Tom is Nero, right, and this is a character that essentially wants to kill his wife, and he adopts a slave boy called Sporus, who would be Greg. And the story goes that Nero pushes his wife down the stairs and then castrates and marries Sporus so that they can then, and like he makes Sporus dress up as his dead wife.
Yeah.
So in other words, the analogy being Tom knife Shiv, brings Greg with him to the top so that Greg can be his person he bounces off with for the rest of time, kind of thing.
And then didn't Greg get very excited about the idea of having his own Greg?
Yes.
Yeah.
This comes. I can't. Oh, fuck. It's something I wish I could say, but I can't. It's a next season thing.
Well, shut up then.
I know I will, but I love this, right? Because it's so metaphorical, and just Tom's been reading this because he wants a big book for when he's in prison, and he reads that, and I'm not above thinking the show makes Tom stupid enough to see that and go, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, I just find it so funny, and when everyone's in the car making moves on the way to their dad. They're sorting out, we're about to do a takeover on our dads. We need to get shit in place. Shiv just sees Tom as this guy that's always going to be there for her, no matter how many times she kicks him.
A confidant.
Yeah, and it ties back to like the conversation Shiv had with her mum when she says, the mum says to Shiv, Logan never loved anything in his life that he didn't want to kick to see if it would come back. And that's what Shiv's doing to Tom. She kicks him over and over again. Tom gives her an opportunity and says to her, when you take over, what does that mean for me? He's like, I want an assurance, essentially. And when she goes, oh, we'll talk about it later, he goes, no, we won't. And that's at that moment, oh my God. Telly, Nathan. Pure cinema.
Okay.
What did you think of the ending? Tom betraying her? Like, where did...
Very dramatic, very dramatic. I literally went, oh, Tom? When I was watching it, it is very dramatic. Again, it was that manipulative hook at the end of the season that really made me want to just go play SO4.
Yeah,
SE1,
Succession is incredible at ending seasons.
Yeah.
It really is. God, I'm pre-warning you, next week's podcast on season 4, almost every episode is a gold mine of like 8 different amazing character beats. So
Oh God,
be ready for a long one.
I won't.
Do you have any little kind of bits or things we could talk about?
No.
Okay. I have a few. I'll breeze through them.
Okay.
There's a scene in episode 2 where Kendall, Shiv, and Roman are all having an argument about like how they could do that how Kendall could have done that to Logan and who's going to run the company. It's very childish, and it's not at all a coincidence that they ended up shooting that in Kendall's child's bedroom. So it's very fun to see them all kind of flimming and flamming around on a bed and like having these childish conversations there. Greg bought a 40k watch that doesn't work properly.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Gives me an inkling into how much he's actually earning.
Oh yes, yeah. That's next week. The drop, the salary drop.
Because if he can afford to spend, well, he wasn't thrilled about it. Okay, which leads me to believe it could be a sizable portion. But still, the fact that he could do that,
yeah,
it speaks volumes.
It does speak volumes. Yeah, he's not a minimum wage dude. Yeah,
it's more than my entire salary. I can say that. Okay. Well, it's dollars, so maybe not. Oh no, probably still. But fucking hell.
I can just tell you that when it happened, Succession, when season 4 was coming out, Succession was so wild on Twitter. Everyone went crazy every week, and Greg's salary trended.
Greg's salary,
which is very fun.
I'm saying it's gonna be around about 150k. Okay,
I'd say don't go too far in either direction.
Okay,
it's not insane. It's not a number that will make you go wow one way or another.
I don't think it'd be millions or anything like that. So I'm gonna say around about 150k.
Okay, so you're locking that in.
I'm gonna lock that in. Yeah.
Okay. The image of the FBI raiding Waystar, like just a bunch of blue coats walking in to essentially seize and subpoena their documents and stuff.
Yeah.
Fascinatingly fun TV, because Logan's like, tell them to fuck off, and Jerry's like, no, these are federal agents. They don't just fuck off when you tell them to.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it for me, I think.
Finally.
Shut up. Love this show.
I know.
Catherine's not here to keep me in line this week, so I'm going full crazy on it. All right, recommendations. Do you have one?
I do.
Cool. It is the point of the show where we recommend some stuff to each other and to our lovely listeners. Nathan, what did you check out this week? What did you watch, read, listen to, or experience?
No, your recommendation. What are you doing?
So, I am going to recommend this is off the cuff, I didn't prepare for this at all, a movie called
what a shock. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, but yeah, what a shock.
It's called Am I Okay? It came out in 2022. No. It's got Dakota Johnson, I think her name
Dakota Fanning.
No, it's not Dakota Fanning. It's another one.
You're thinking of Dakota Fanning.
She's got that. She's a weird performer. She's the, like Madam Web and all of this.
I know who she is.
Lance.
I know who Dakota Johnson is.
I'm emphasizing she's known for doing weird stuff. And like
50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, but she's got a weird acting style, but she's very watchable in this. It's a movie. It's essentially a sort of. It's not quite a coming of age thing because she's like, I think, early 30s in the movie, but it's very much about someone finding themselves. She has a realization about herself, and then it's a bit of a spin on a rom-com in that she is. Well, I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but I think it might be in all the marketing. She essentially realizes she is not the sexuality she thought she was. And now playing the dating field is a whole new ball game that she is not used to. And she becomes herself over the course of a movie. And it's a fun, breezy watch. I think it's like an hour and a half. And it was a good time.
I would watch it if you hadn't just spoiled it for me.
It's not a spoiler. I think that's in all of the marketing.
Just because it's in the marketing doesn't mean it's not a spoiler.
That's a fair point. Yeah. It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's fun.
Spoilers.
Okay, what are you recommending?
Lawrence, I am recommending a movie, but actually a good one, okay? None of this fucking Dakota Johnson nonsense, all right? I am recommending a monkey movie about monkeys. Yeah. It's called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Okay. Are you familiar with this?
I've heard of this movie, yes.
Okay, well, I've seen it now, and it's good, and I enjoyed it, so I think everyone should watch it.
Yeah. Monkeylicious?
Monkeylicious. There's actually no monkeys in it.
Apes. Apelicious.
Apelicious, yes.
I do know I'll cut this. I did see Maurice again for that quick scene in the beginning, and I was like, Maurice.
It does open with Maurice, yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The king returns.
You know that meme of the guy like saluting and crying at the same time? That was me.
Yes.
I was like, Maurice!
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Very, really great performances. Surprising that like it's not Andy. I was going to say Andy Samberg. Andy Serkis.
I just had said.
It's not Andy Serkis. But he but all the performers still do an amazing job. You know, they still do really good mocap work. It looks beautiful. I think it's a great movie. Very interesting story. So yeah, 300 years post Caesar. It is
Crazy that they're like, let's go that far ahead, but makes sense.
Yeah.
Last one ended with like the last of the human military dying, right?
It's very interesting in that like it's been 300 years and like how like things have what's been forgotten and what's been remembered over 300 years, and how like things have been twisted and changed, and some things that are like legend and history may not actually be the case, and that kind of thing. Yeah, it is quite interesting.
To quote Modern Warfare 2, history is written by the victor.
Okay, great. Well, the victor was Caesar.
Well, yeah, but maybe, I don't know, maybe the Elder Ape Council have got some secrets and tricks up their sleeve. Who knows?
There is no Elder Ape Council.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
It's not. This is the thing. It's not just one faction of apes. There's all different communities and villages of apes.
They've been breeding.
The main faction, the one that the main character we follow, belongs to a relatively small village.
Okay. I will check it out. I did see 10 minutes of it and then I fell asleep.
Okay, well, that's your fault, skill issue. Okay.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I'm not denying that.
It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Lovely. Well, in that case, thank you very, very much for listening, everyone. If you've enjoyed the show, then please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. That'd be very cool. We'd appreciate it. You can also check us out on Twitter at Another Happy Pod, where you can suggest a topic for us to check out. Obviously, be sure to join us next week because we're going to be continuing Succuli, wrapping up Succuli with this.
He's on the floor, Tom.
Explain to me what he's doing.
He's moseying, terrifyingly moseying. It's like if Santa Claus was a hitman.
Is Catherine joining us next week? We don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you feel so inclined, we also have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes if you want to help us with the running of both the shows. Obviously, no pressure. These episodes are always going to be available for people to enjoy for free, so obviously there is no onus on you for that at all. Speaking of both the shows, Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have another podcast as well.
We do. We recently got a review from Jeff Lemon, by the way.
Did we?
Yeah, who says 5 stars. Now, this is podcasting, perfect for people with working ears. So there you are.
Great.
Thank you, Jeff.
Nice.
What did you ask me?
Just still got legs. Do the thing.
Yeah, we have Still Got Legs. It's Doctor Who. Oh, well, actually, on there, Catherine's going to join us for Still Got Legs. So if you love Catherine, and we do, come join us for Still Got Legs next week.
The next installment in our grand plan of slowly just forcing her to be a host of these.
How long will it be until we make the formal offer to Catherine to come and join us?
Well, that means we have to dilute our cut, so...
Well, never then.
Thank you for listening. We will see you next Friday at 10 a.m. Stay cool, stay sexy, stay beautiful.
Stay happy.
Nice.